Good morning. Myself, Dr. Ashok Jagannath Patil, Associate Professor at Pratap College, Amalner. Title of today's lecture is Introduction and Classification of the Pests. Introduction to the pest. Concept and scope of the pest. Insects are beneficial or harmful to human beings since prehistoric time. A constant struggle is going on between man and the insects. This struggle will go on forever. Definition of pest. Pest can be defined as any organism, plant, or animal whose population increases such an extent to cause economic losses to crop and health hazards. What is economic pest? The pest causes 5% or more loss. They are called as the economic pest. Economic injury level pest. Lowest population density of the pest which causes the damage to the crops. They are called as economic injury level. Then what is economic threshold? The density of the pest population at which control measures started to prevent increase in pest population. Classification of the pest. The insects can be damage to crop plants in the field, fruit plants, stored food, and even property. Based on the host which they affect, the pests are classified as agricultural pest. First one is the agricultural pest. The pest or the insects which causes the damage to the crop plants are called agricultural pest. These insects bears chewing and sucking type of the mouth parts. Crops like jawar, bajra, wheat, cotton, sugarcane, etc. are attacked by the pest. Pest of the cotton, that is the red cotton bug. The scientific name of the red cotton bug is Dysdarchus cingulatus. Host plant of these pests are cotton, bhendi, ambadi. Marks of identification. The adult bug measures about 15 by 4.5 mm in size. Red colored except eyes, scutellum, antennae, which is black in color. There is a black spot in each membranous forewings. A series of white transverse bands are present on the ventral side of the abdomen. Nature of damage. Both nymphs and adults suck the cell sap from the leaves, shoots, balls. If the attack is severe, balls open badly and the lint is of poor quality. They also feed on the seeds and lower the oil content and low percentage of germination. Control measures. Primary control. Cotton field should be plowed to expose eggs to sunlight. Insects should be hand picked and killed. Second one is the chemical control. Spraying with sevin, heptachlor, methyl parathion, and biological control. Predator, that is Herpactor costalis. Store grain pest. The insects which attack on the food as well as stored grains are called store grain pest. Nature of pest attack on stored food and food products varies. Some species deposit their eggs in the developing seeds in the field, while injury becomes clearly seen only after the immature insects have been carried further to the storehouses. But other insect pests enters into the kitchens, godowns, factories and deposit their eggs on cured meat, harvested seeds or any products manufactured from raw food material. Store grain pest, we'll see the store grain pest that is Cytophilus oryzae. It is also called as a rice weevil. Cytophilus oryzae is its scientific name. Host plant of the Cytophilus are the stored grains in the farm and storage, wheat, rice, maize, jawar, bajra. What are the identification marks of this pest? Adults are small, about 4 mm in length, with reddish brown, dark brown, or black in color, and cylindrical body. Head is prolonged into a slender snout with chewing mouthparts located at the tip. On the wings, four light reddish or yellowish spots present. Grubs are white in color, small and legless, and yellow-brown head. What is the nature of damage? Adult and grub feed on grains, leaving behind only skin of the grains. The grub feeding on its starchy content and hollow it out, leaving only the outer shell intact. Adults live in the cracks and crevices of the godown during winter. Control measures of this pest. Primary control. Sun drying of the grains. Godown should be clean with heating arrangement. Grains can be mixed with dry neem leaves. Chemical controls. Grains to be mixed or dusted with 5% of the BC. Empty godown should be sprayed with 0.4% of the BC or DDT or 0.02% malathion before storage of the grains. Fumigants. Fumigation of grains by HCN for 18 hours or ethylene bromide, methyl bromide, EDCT mixture or phostoxin tablets in the closed godowns or containers. Next pest is veterinary pest. The insects causing injury to the domestic animals are called as veterinary or animal husbandry pests. Flea, hornfly, housefly, these are the examples of the veterinary pest. We'll see about the fleas. Fleas are small wingless insects with a tough cuticle bearing many bristles. Adult fleas have comb-like structure on their head capsules to prevent them from being dislodged from hair or feathers. They have sensory structure called as sensillum, which help to detect a host by air movement, vibration, and temperature gradients. All adults have piercing, sucking mouthparts to obtain a blood meal. The female fleas will produce hundreds of eggs in her lifetime. Cat fleas is found on many different domestic mammals. It occurs worldwide and is a nuisance due to its free feeding style. Fleas bite can cause dermatitis, allergies, and anemia. When fleas are present in large numbers, fleas are immediate host for helminths that parasitize domestic animals. Occasionally, a severe infestation of fleas can cause the death of the goat, lambs due to anemia. Then control measures. Fleas population are naturally regulated by a host efficient grooming technique and by natural predators such as predatory mite, beetles, and ants that feed on the adult and larvae. Fleas are also susceptible to the parasites, plague bacillus, protozoans, nematodes, parasitoid wasp. Public health pests. The insects which transmitting pathogens and causing various diseases in man are called as a public health pest. For that we take the example of the Samex means bedbug. Bedbugs are reddish brown color, wingless, oval or elongated, crawl but do not jump or fly. Unpaired bugs are extremely flat and almost circular in outline, but after feeding, the abdomen becomes enlarged and rounded. Nymphs are smaller, bright red just after a blood meal, but almost clear or cream colored if unveiled, often with a dark spots in their abdomen indicating digested food from a previous meal. Nature of damage for the Simax. All stages of the bugs except eggs feed on the blood. Humans are their preferred host. Almost they will feed on pet animals and birds. Their mouthparts are adapted for piercing the skin and sucking the blood. Bedbugs respond to the warmth and carbon dioxide of a host and quickly locate a suitable feeding site. Their bites are not felt and bedbugs awaken a sleeping person. Bedbugs causes a number of death health effects indicating skin rashes, psychological effects, allergic symptoms. The term for bedbug bite is simicosis, which can manifest in varying levels of severity from no visible symptoms. Small red bumps or welts or prominent spreading blister like swelling. Control measures. Inspect clothing and luggage of travelers. Inspect second-hand bedding, furniture, and clothing. Wash launder bedding, clothing, etc. in hot water and dryer on hot setting. Remove excess clutter from the house and giving the bedding fewer places to hide. Use of topical creams such as cortisone to relieve itching and oral antibiotic if infection causes occurs because of skin irritation around the bite. Next is the structural pest. For that we take the example of termites, odontoderms. Obesus is the scientific name of the termites, host plants living on dead vegetation, books and other articles of the wood, fabric, etc. Marks of the identification. These are commonly called as white ants. These are social insects living in polymorphic colonies. They show division of labor and consume cellulose. They attack on wooden and earthen constructions and make big nests where they live without any outer disturbances. Their big nest can easily seen in forest and old gardens. They vary in shape, size, color, working. They are often blind with shift sensitive skin. Their color varies from whitish to brown. The two pair of wings develop during breeding season for a short period and soon as shed off, which are similar in size. Termites are grouped into two categories, fertile and sterile. The fertile caste include male and female. The sterile castes include soldiers and workers. These are fed in such a way that their reproductive organs do not develop. Workers. These are white insects most commonly seen during damage. Soldiers. These are a little larger than workers. Winged adults. They are bigger than the soldiers and possesses four equally long wings. King. This is still bigger wingless male. Queen. This is the biggest wingless member of the colony, about 10 centimeters in length. Supplementary reproductive. These are special females whose duty is to reproductive in emergency if the queen happens to die. Nature of damage. Termites are the most important insect pest as they cause very great damage. The termites are polyphagous. Their food is composed of cellulose, which they got from living or dead vegetation, books and other articles of the wood. They damage buildings, furniture, books, crops, especially sugarcane, maize, jawar, bajra, pulses, paddy, wheat, potato, tea, coffee, coconut, fruits, and forest trees. They causes considerable damage to the dry and dead wood, furniture, books, almost all articles containing cellulose. Control measures. Primary control. Protection of wooden structure can be best by taking care that no wood comes in contact with ground. Second one is timber thoroughly treated with coal tar. Cresol is repellent to the insects. Third one is when termites are already in the wood, all infested parts will remove and pest should be located if possible and destroyed by using kerosene or by fumigation. Chemical controls. The affected parts in the trees should be sprayed with Paris green or sanitary fluid. Second one is treatment of soil near the buildings with mixture of trichlorobenzene 1 part, fuel oil or cresol 2 parts, helpful for few years in keeping termites away. Conclusion. In this lecture, we study about the concept and scope of the pest, definition of the pest, agricultural pest, store grain pest, veterinary pest, public health pest, and structural pest. Thank you.